With NASCAR racing at the LA Clash in such a historic place, NASCAR has done this to market itself really well. Now this got me thinking, what are some other tracks NASCAR could race at for exhibition events that they could market really well in the future? NASCAR did say that if it is a success that they'll come back there next year, but they're going to make a decision after the race. And with NASCAR transferring a football field into a racetrack, as well as putting dirt on Bristol, what is really off the table in terms of tracks? Starting off, we have the Chicago Street Course. Now, this could be a street course in any big city, but I know they've done Chicago on iRacing before, so that would be the most likely place. Now, anytime you are talking about a street course, logistics will always be in question, but I think NASCAR will eventually race on a street course in some city. They'll figure out a way to pull enough strings. It could even be national, considering how much NASCAR wants to get into that market. Either way, this would be a great way to advertise NASCAR to the city in which they are racing, kind of like what they're doing with the LA Clash. Next up, we have Monza. Now, this could be the road course, or if they bring that to oval, that would be perfect, although that would be extremely chaotic. I thought of doing Monaco, but that's way too narrow. But Monza is a historic track in Italy, and I think it could produce some great racing, and considering it's in Italy and F1 uses it, it would be a great way to market the sport. Of course, it would be difficult to transport the cars across the ocean, but NASCAR did that in Japan back in the 90s. Next up would be the long-awaited return of North Wilkesboro. Now, because of North Wilkesboro's climate, it is more likely that NASCAR would do this for an all-star race, rather than the early season Clash. And this could be applicable to Nashville Fairgrounds or The Rock. No, not that Rock, Rockingham. And NASCAR is definitely trying to bring back North Wilkesboro. Bringing back an old track like this wouldn't really bring back new fans, but it could appeal to NASCAR's core fan base that maybe some of which they've lost. And just the history of the track too. Next up, we have racing on snow or ice. Considering the clashes in February, this would be perfect. NASCAR has tested Whelen Ewer cars on ice. The Race of Champions this year is on ice. They could do this in the Nordic countries, Alaska, Antarctica, well, probably not Antarctica, or a cold continental state such as Minnesota or Wisconsin. There is actually a racing league on Lake Superior. They race in the winter when the ice is at least 16 inches thick. Now, for safety concerns, they may just do it on land, but pour ice on it, kind of like an ice rink is. But it would make for some very interesting racing. A terrain that no one really races on. The final most lucrative place that I could think of where NASCAR could go would be on Daytona Beach. And I do mean the literal beach. Now, I don't know if it's logistically possible to build a course on the beach. Like, I've never been there. But I think NASCAR should at least see if there's a way they could try. If they've raced on dirt, why can't they race on sand? Plus, consider the history of how long ago when they actually did race at the beach and road course track. And if you can't do that, just do a street course in Daytona. Plus, we keep the Clash in Daytona. I think if they can do it, 2024 would be a great year to do it, considering it's going to be the 75th anniversary of NASCAR. Their first season, that is. There are many other places where NASCAR could race for an exhibition race that I did not cover in this video, but I want to hear what you think those venues could be and why.